Have you ever wondered how a boy from a small village in South Africa would one day change the world? This is the story of Nelson Mandela. Born in the year 1918 in the tiny village of Mvezo, Mandela's journey began. His thirst for knowledge was evident even in his early years, as he embarked on a path of education, a rarity in those times. A pivotal moment came with his initiation ceremony, a rite of passage that ignited Mandela's fascination with African history, a flame that would never die. His journey took him to Johannesburg, where he pursued studies in law, a field that would later serve as his battleground in the fight against injustice. A young Mandela, fervent and eager, was just beginning to understand the injustices that would shape his life's mission. Life in Johannesburg opened Mandela's eyes to the harsh realities of apartheid. It was here that his fight for freedom truly began. In the heart of South Africa, where the racial divide was deeply entrenched, Nelson Mandela found his life purpose. He joined the African National Congress, or ANC, in 1944, a time when the organization was a non-violent entity, advocating for the rights of the black majority. Mandela, with his charisma and passion, quickly rose through the ranks, making his mark as a formidable leader. But his journey was not without sacrifice. In 1952, Mandela spearheaded the Defiance Campaign, a series of non-violent protests against apartheid laws. The campaign was a turning point, not only for the ANC, but for South Africa as a whole. It was during this time that Mandela and his comrades made the bold decision to confront the oppression head-on, risking their lives in the process. Despite the harsh retaliation from the government, Mandela remained steadfast. His activism, however, didn't go unnoticed by the authorities. In 1962, Mandela was arrested on charges of conspiracy to overthrow the state. His trial, infamously known as the Rivonia trial, was rife with prejudice and injustice. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, which led to 27 long years behind the bars. But the prison walls could not contain Mandela's spirit. From his cell in Robben Island, he continued to inspire his people, his voice resonating louder than ever before. Despite the physical and emotional torment, Mandela refused to bow down to his oppressors. His resilience became a beacon of hope for millions around the world. But let's remember, the story doesn't end there. Mandela's spirit remained unbroken, his resolve unshaken. The fight for freedom was far from over. The years that followed would see Mandela transform from a prisoner to a symbol of resistance, and eventually the president of a free South Africa. But that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. For now, let's salute the indomitable spirit of Nelson Mandela, a man who taught us that no struggle is too great in the pursuit of freedom. In 1990, after 27 years of imprisonment, Mandela walked free, but his journey was far from over. The taste of freedom was sweet, yet it came with a renewed sense of responsibility. Immediately after his release, Mandela returned to his political home, the African National Congress, or ANC, ready to continue the fight against racial segregation. He became a pivotal figure in the negotiations to dismantle apartheid, the oppressive system of institutionalized racial segregation that had held South Africa in its grip for decades. Mandela's leadership, patience, and diplomacy, coupled with his unyielding commitment to justice, were instrumental in these talks. 4 years after his release, in 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election, in which all citizens, regardless of their race, had the right to vote. The outcome? Mandela was elected as the first black president of South Africa, a historical moment that marked a new dawn for the nation. Mandela had journeyed from prisoner to president, a testament to his enduring spirit and unyielding determination. Nelson Mandela's impact extends far beyond the borders of South Africa. His life and legacy continue to inspire people around the world. A beacon of hope, Mandela's influence penetrated every corner of the globe, sparking movements for justice and equality. His unwavering dedication to human rights led to the establishment of Mandela Day, a global call to action celebrating the idea that each individual has the power to transform the world. After his presidency, Mandela remained an active force for change, turning his attention to pressing global issues like HIV/AIDS, demonstrating that his commitment to humanity was boundless. His passing in 2013 was met with an outpouring of global mourning, a testament to the enduring impact of his life's work. Nelson Mandela, a boy from a small village who became a global icon of resistance and reconciliation. His life teaches us that no obstacle is too great, no cause too small, and that every voice matters.